So I'm letting him get more confident going on uneven surfaces. I want him to start to pay attention about where he's putting his feet. We got a bit of a hillside here, and what I'm going to basically do is I'm just going to go through George's basic groundwork. But what am I doing? When we think about proprioception, so he's a little, I've been using the flag to kind of keep him off of me just a little bit on the way down here because we've seen some things. And one of the things that George has also struggled with is if they take him, when they can actually get him to a horse show, is that when he gets kind of riled up about some things, if he starts to look off, he has a hard time refocusing and coming back. So this is a great way to take a horse like this, to work on his proprioception in his feet, to work on, and why is that important? I've been kind of hammering home those terms right there. And why is it important? Because George lacks confidence getting in the horse trailer, and that is why George is here with us. George is here because they have not been able to get him in a church trailer for over 2 years. And so with that being the case, one of the first things I notice is that he lacks a lot of confidence in where he's putting his feet. And when he steps on that horse trailer and that horse floor and that trailer floor kind of shifts because he's so big, he gets real unsure about it. So one of the ways I'm going to help this horse become better at trailer loading is not to necessarily trailer load him at all, but to actually get him more confident in his feet so that we can, then when we go to approach the horse trailer, he's more confident in his ability, he's more confident in what he knows. We're building confidence in his understanding of the groundwork. And I've just brought this flag. You could do this with the regular end of the lead rope, but I know that George sometimes, because he's so big, sometimes if I go to change directions and say he missed it, like that was a really nice turn. He's coming out, today's a Monday, so he's had the weekend off. Just kind of pick him up and say, hey, it's good to overachieve, but we just need to walk around here because you're on a hill. So I'm letting him get more confident going on uneven surfaces. I want him to start to pay attention about where he's putting his feet. There's a little bracey for my liking. Just using this flag to rub him. I don't want him to be overly sensitive to the flag necessarily, but I also want him to understand, like, hey, this is here to help you. We're still kind of working on green groundwork. I wouldn't mind there if he kind of picked up the trot going up the hill, because he's like, that's going to be easier to trot up this hill than walk. He's not necessarily being bad, so I'll let him stop here. He keeps getting a little distracted over that way, and we're going to end up heading there in a little bit because there's a creek and a ditch and all that type of stuff, and he's just been through the creek and the ditch once, so we'll see. Unfortunately, it hasn't rained in a couple days, so there's probably not going to be any water in it, but it has a good opportunity to come up and down. So check his hindquarters. So I can go through all my groundwork steps. Good. Gonna shift him here. So I just kind of bumped him on the halter. He kind of gets to look into the outside. There, good exhale, good relax. So there you look, there's a car sitting up there watching us, seeing what we're up to. And I just kind of use that flag and say, hey, you can check the car out, but if it affects how you're carrying your feet, like you can look out there, but if you get real bracey and your shoulders fall in, then we might have to change what you're up to. So here, I like how he got prepared that time. He didn't even hit the end of the lead rope. You know, it wasn't the world's like most correct and proper turn as far as what I'd look for, but at the same time, he's really taking some initiative to try based on what he knows and where he's at with things. He's a big horse. He's got a lot of movement, but he still can be responsible for himself. Yeah, if we can put this footage next to how he was when he first showed up, like the amount of softness that he's carrying and he's maneuvering. So that time I just thought like that shoulder just kind of pushed in a little bit. So I'm just gonna say, hey, can you step that shoulder over? A little bit of a leg yield. This horse is a big, giant work in progress. There's certain things that you guys might see on the video that I'm not really too concerned about, because based on how we worked with the osteopath and what we're working with Brian, these are things that we have to fix over a period of time. These are not things that we're gonna fix, that I can even fix right out of the gate from a training perspective, because we're working on biomechanics. Most of us have trouble developing our horses and ourselves. Many of us don't have access to quality professionals around the clock, and it can be overwhelming and frustrating to sort through all the information out on the internet. The Inner Circle with Colton Woods Horsemanship provides you with hundreds of hours of real, raw horsemanship and lifemanship tools. The Inner Circle is available for less than half the cost of a single lesson each month. We want to cure the frustration and provide the answers that you and your horse have been looking for.